Yeah. Go ahead, Chandrasekhar. Please go ahead.
So, sir, this question is regarding uh, the assessment centers which we run, and because I missed this class when I was attending my CLTM course, so would like to understand what are the assessment centers. I have a little knowledge about it, but a little explanation from your side will certainly help me.
Okay. So see, an assessment center is a highly validated technique to measure anybody's skill set. It is a highly validated technique. That means if I ask a manager to assess, or I ask the candidate to assess his own skills, or I have somebody, it doesn't tend to be, the validation level is low. But that means the correlation between what they actually are and how well they are being measured is low. In an assessment center, by the way, this is not what I am saying, based on global research, the validity is pretty high. It comes to around 0.7 correlation between on-job activity and what is being measured properly. So it's a very highly validated thing, especially for selection of people. Because, if I do an interview, I can't select them very well. So let's take a simple example of an assessment center. The Indian Army's Service Selection Board is considered one of the best assessment centers. Now, what are they trying to assess people on? Certain qualities or behaviors which they call leadership qualities.
Are we referring to SSB interviews which happen?
You have been to an SSB yourself?
No. One of my
friends. See, the Army is assessing people for what? Certain leadership skills. Correct? And these, it might be different for, I'm talking about the assessment to NDA and IMA for officers. If it's for technical and all, it might be different. I'm talking about the specific assessment centers which are normally done for IMA or NDA. And these assessment centers are highly validated. So what they do is they put the people through a series of 3 types of things: interviews, exercises or games, simulation games, and through psychometric tests. So all these are, if you're joining the NDA or joining the Army and going through the SSB, will be validated, let's say, on a skill like, let's say, I'm just saying, ability to listen to your team members is an important skill. So you'll be assessed in the game. They'll be watching you. How are you listening? You'll be put through a psychometric tool.
Okay.
You'll be put through an interview where you'll be put under stress, and they'll still see, are you listening well or are you trying to do? So the same skill is assessed through a variety of tools. So it is multi-assessments. And secondly, to avoid what we call bias, etc., it is multi-assessor. Different assessors are assessing. Okay. So the level of bias, the level of validity is very high. Of course, it takes a lot of time. It might take 1 day, 2 days, which may seem a lot, but if the requirement is so crucial, like the Army, where you're taking somebody who's going to be controlling the lives of people and the safety of so many people under his command, you want to take that level of time.
Right.
So an assessment center is a multi-assessor tool with multiple tools to assess a series of behaviors or skills, which is what is being observed.
Got it. Yeah, you were clear. Yeah, three types of assessments you mentioned: interview, exercises, and psychometrics. Does it have any hierarchy that, okay, I'll do the psychometrics
first?
Depends.
It depends. See, the problem with that is it depends on what you're trying to measure. Some things are measured better through a game. Like, let's say I'm talking about your ability to work in a team. It is best observed in a game. And psychometrics may be a useful thing. Whereas if I'm looking at your logical thinking or your ability to come out with quick answers under stress or quick situations, or stress interview may be the best. So it depends which aspect you're measuring where certain tools are better suited for it.
Okay. So just adding to it, uh, suppose we are selecting the high potential candidates, high potential employees. We want to run some career development program. So in this, we want to run assessment center. So ideally, we should go with the psychometrics first, and then the interview should be the second one, or should we go with the exercises, different exercises, in-tray
See,
exercises?
that doesn't matter because everything is done normally on the same day. An assessment center tends to be a thing which is done on a particular day at a particular time. Hardly it would matter. In fact, sometimes what will happen will be there'll be two groups of people who'll be going in a different order and different things.
Right.
It shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter.
Okay. It shouldn't matter, but the design should be like the same psychometrics.
Everybody should be able to. I'll just show you one simple one, maybe just to give you a sense. For example, we were going to do an assessment for just 1 minute. Let me open. I've like been working on like 20, 30 assessment centers for different organizations. Let me take you through one of those examples. This we were doing for Samsung. So you can see here, team leadership was being used to check team leadership. We were using
The case study.
this one. Yeah.
Okay.
So black is it's not being used. White means I have to put a score here. So that's why
Okay.
the white ones are there. Something like this. And for decision making, it was a case study and in basket exercise. So different exercises are used for every competency.
Got
Right?
it. Got it.
And therefore, yeah, so that's about it, Chandrasekhar.
Got it. Understood.
And at the end, you might get a report like this. I'll even try to show you a report. This is a first level report. It has to be written into a much more detailed report. 1 second. So, for example, this particular person has attended the assessment center. These are his scores in various areas. And this is his overall strengths.
But the screen is not visible.
Screen is not visible. Yeah, let me show you. 1 second. So this is the assessment center for one person. So this is the person being assessed. He is being assessed on the skills of team leadership through team logo game and this. Overall score is this, and this is what his strengths were, and this is what his weaknesses were.
So is it done on the scale of 1 to 5, where 1 is the
Yeah,
low?
you need to have a bars chart to support that. You need to have a bars table to support.
Understood. Thank you, sir.
It's like saying I want to observe Chandrasekhar's presentation skill. I'll have a bars chart which will show his body language, his everything, and I will take after watching him in the simulation whether he's able to do it or not.
Got it. Thank you.